Hello guys and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to The Sims 4, and welcome back to another Sims 4 room build, kind of, speed build, kind of. It's kind of somewhere in between because technically I think it's going to end up being 2 rooms, but it's kind of just a room. Basically I had this idea with hobbies and businesses, or businesses and hobbies, the new expansion pack that came out. It's been kind of intimidating because building both a business and a living space kind of it feels like very big builds, and so I've kind of been like easing my way into it, and I had this idea for like a little artist shed, kind of the idea of like the she shed in the backyard. I live on a farm, and so I have outbuildings, and there's been a couple outbuildings where we've like slowly turned them into like little areas for different things. We're in the process of turning one into a greenhouse. We've got one that is like a wood shop, things like that. And I was like, wouldn't it be really cool to have a little shed in like a Sims backyard that is their studio for some of the new pottery skill. I put a woodworking table in here. I put an easel in here, and I decorated it up. This isn't in any way a limited pack build, although it isn't a ton of packs. I kind of halfway through was like, it'd be really cool to do a limited pack build, and then I was kind of like, well, but I already kind of goofed up and like used a bunch of packs, so it's sort of a not limited but not crazy pack build. But it predominantly features businesses and hobbies and the artist studio kit. I think you could get away with just those two and pretty much everything else would be replaceable with base game. But in here, there are multiple hobbies you can do. I set it up to look like a shed. I did the open door. That is from one of the kits. I can't remember which one, but you could replace it with anything. And I just went really cute and cozy. I started really like cluttering it up, making it look, because like if it's your artist studio, right, you don't have to worry about cleaning up for dinner. You don't necessarily have to worry about like, oh, the kids have homework the next day, so I need to make sure there's clean space on the table, or I can't leave this here because this is also my work from home office. I have a friend who does leather working in her apartment, and she always jokes that there's day mode in the apartment and night mode in the apartment, because day mode in the apartment is work from home at the dining table, and night mode in the apartment is leather working and stuff, which I think is so funny, because I do much the same thing at my desk. During the day, it's my work from home desk, and during the evenings, it's my YouTube desk, and sometimes it's a painting desk, although not really, to be honest with you. I usually paint at the dining table because I have a really strong ability to spill, and like there's like a lot of tech on this desk, and I can just see me knocking over multiple cups of paint water, and that just sounds like a really bad deal, so I don't usually paint here. But like my point is it'd be really cool to have a little space like this where you don't necessarily have to clean up every time, and it's just out and ready to go. And if you're working on a painting for multiple days or a piece of pottery for multiple days, I don't know if you can do that. I've never done pottery. Pottery seems like so much fun, but it intimidates the heck out of me, I'll be honest, because I think it's like the mess idea of it. It's the like getting sticky that kind of weirds me out, but I think it'd be so fun. And then I did put a little chair and a little like sitting area in here for the pondering, because I think an important part of creating is the pondering. Adam Savage has a chair in his cave, was what he calls his workshop. He doesn't say it's for the pondering, but I tend to believe it's for the pondering. As well as it's just a nice little addition to the workspace over there with the woodworking table. I thought woodworking would be fun because it's not a skill I use a ton, and so I tend to forget about it. It also has a matching swatch situation because it's part of the artist's studio kit, I believe is what it's called. So I just liked that it worked in there. I put a plant above it. I love the string lights in here. That's something I would absolutely do. And then I was trying to figure out the wood vibe because I wanted it to very much feel like one of those pick and place sheds. Like, I don't know what your state fair looked like, but growing up, my state fair always had a section of the fair where like the local, I don't even know what you'd call them, I guess contractor, would have their little sheds out, and they'd be like, this is a pick and place shed. I guess it would be a shed company. And they'd have like a bunch of different sheds there, and you could like see how much they were and look, and you know, as tiny houses became a thing, they started getting the ones with lofts and things, and they'd be like, we can just put it on a slab in your yard, and then you have a shed, but you could also have other things, you know. That's kind of what I was imagining here, is this was like, or like there's a lot of them online too that are that way, which is kind of cool, where you can like basically just order a tiny home but like unfinished, and then you do the finishing yourself. We've actually joked about it for my house because I would really like to have a dedicated office space at some point, and I keep saying attic, and everyone else keeps saying like she shed outside, which is cool. I like both ideas. Here's the thing that worries me in reality, for working in a shed outside, even if it's heated and cooled and like plumbed in and well, not plumbed in, there'd be no way to do that, but like powered in and stuff. The thing that worries me is because I work really long hours. A lot of times I end up working like 16 hours. there would be no bathroom. And that's not a big deal, like in the summertime when it's warm and it's just step out and like go. In the wintertime when it's -2 degrees, I'm not keen on the idea of having to leave my warm office to run across the yard to then go inside. You know? Like, that doesn't work for me. Or when there's like, one year there was like 2.5 feet of snow, which isn't a lot, but I live on a hill. I don't really want to trudge up the hill in 2.5 feet of snow. That's a story I tell my kids, but that's not something I actually want to do. Yeah. So I'm thinking attic. And when I say thinking attic, I mean wistfully. All of this is completely outside of anything a normal human with normal human responsibilities can afford. But I like to think about it. And I really love the idea of like a little artist studio out in a cabin like this. And I like this for your sim because this is a tiny, it's actually 2 rooms because of the deck. This is what I was saying. So you'd have to download. Well, I might just punch a wall and make it 1 room, to be honest. I haven't figured out how I'm uploading it. But I liked the idea of you guys are going to be able to just place this on your lot for your sim and suddenly you have a craft space. Like if you're on a like if you're doing a rags to riches and you're on like a 64x64 but you've only built like a teeny little house to get started and you want to like start a teeny little business, this might be kind of expensive to place to start because I've kitted it out. But this idea is like not a bad one, you know, just like a little shed. I did put the selling table out here so that you could sell your wares. You could also open it as a business and put out shelving and stuff. It's kind of an interesting thing, this businesses and hobbies pack. I really love it for The Sims. I think it's a great gameplay additive for The Sims. 10 out of 10, fully condone. In real life, it makes me a little bit uncomfy because at least in the United States where I live, it's become very common to sort of shun people or be rude to people who don't monetize their hobbies. Like if you're good at something or if you're even like mediocre at something, someone will look at what you've done and go, you could sell this though. That would make more sense. And it's like I've been really pushing with people the idea of like you're allowed to have hobbies that don't provide any value to anyone but you, you know. So there was like, I think when it first came out, there was a little bit for me of that going, let's see how they do this. I think it's great in The Sims, but I do just want to remind you, your hobbies have value, even if it's only to you. Like, to be so clear, you are allowed to do things just because you like it, not because you're good at it, not because it can make you money, just because you enjoy it. You can be bad at something and enjoy it. It can never make you money and you can enjoy it. Just remember that. But in The Sims, this is very cool. In The Sims, it's really great to be able to have, like, I think because in The Sims, it's less, like, hustle culture to make ends meet by doing 8 different jobs, and it's more like, hey, your sim loves art. Let her make a living doing art. And I think that's really awesome. Like, it's got a very wholesome twinge to it in The Sims, so I love that. And I love the new skills, the pottery and the tattooing skill. I haven't tried it yet. But a friend of mine got her drawing tablet out and was hand drawing tattoos. And I can't tell you how excited I am to try that out. That's like on my weekend to-do list. I'm like, that's so cool. Here I'm just decorating out the room a little bit. Again, I'm not sure how I'm going to upload this. I think I'm just going to punch a wall so that the deck and the room are like together. But that does probably mean like your shutters and things may not come along for the ride. You'll just have to replace those if you place them. Or if you copy this idea and build it for yourself, you can do all the colors you want and you can make it personalized to you. Maybe your sim is super into flower arranging or something like that. Here I'm just adding some last minute details. I thought it'd be cool to have like some work aprons. I put a little fan up there because it might get a little hot. Because it kind of looks unfinished, like it's just the plyboard, I thought, well, she probably doesn't have heating or cooling really in there. So in the summertime there's a fan, and then you'd probably just pack like a space heater in, which we don't really have in The Sims, but you could make pretend. Now we're here onto the screenshots, and I've been talking for forever at you, so I'm gonna let you go and just watch these. I hope you're having a great day and you're feeling loved, and if you're not feeling loved, please know that I love you. I'm glad you're here hanging out. You make the world a better place just by being you, and that's hobbies included. Go enjoy your hobbies. All right, I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye. Mwah.